The stars above Earth were not just lights, they were eyes. For centuries, the Xinthians had watched humanity from the cold void of space. Their sleek black ships drifted unseen near Mars, their sensors drinking in every war, every explosion, every scream. The Xinthians were tall, scaled like fish, and built for war. To them, humans were insects. Loud, messy insects. They fought over land, money, and beliefs. They poisoned their own air. The Xinthians laughed. "They'll destroy themselves before we even lift a claw," their high commander hissed. But one day the laughter stopped. It began with a flicker. A Xinthian scout ship near Neptune noticed strange energy waves pulsing from Earth. "Solar storm?" the pilot asked. "No," replied the science officer, her voice tight. "This is artificial. Something down there is glowing, like a star." The crew leaned closer to the screen. Buried in the ice of Antarctica, something massive hummed. With power. The Xinthians had seen ruins before, crumbling pyramids, rusted satellites, but this was different. The heat signature matched hyper-advanced reactors. The High Commander was not amused. "Humans can't build a toaster without burning it down. This is a glitch." But the glitches multiplied. In the deserts of Arizona, under layers of sand, metal beams glinted like bones. In the Pacific Ocean, sonar scans revealed jagged towers buried in the Mariana Trench. Even the moon held secrets, caves filled with machines, their purpose unknown. "They're digging," muttered a junior officer. Digging for what? No one knew. The Xinthians sent probes. Tiny mosquito-like drones slipped into Earth's atmosphere, hiding in storms, clinging to satellites. What they found made the High Commander's scales turn pale green. Humans weren't just building, they were planning. Underground factories churned out strange alloys. Engineers worked in secret, their faces lit by blueprints labeled Project Reckoning. The word Star Destroyers appeared again and again. "What's a Star Destroyer?" the commander growled. "A myth," snapped the advisor. "Human fiction. Ships big enough to crush planets. They don't exist." But the data said otherwise. One probe sneaked into a cavern beneath Siberia. Its camera caught a glimpse of a ship, a monster. It stretched miles long, its hull shaped like a dagger. Cannons lined its sides. The Xinthians had seen similar designs before on their own warships. "They've stolen our tech," the science officer whispered. But how? The answer lay in the Arctic. Years earlier, a Xinthian scout had crash-landed near Greenland. The crew died, but the ship survived, half buried in ice. Humans found it. At first, they'd tried to sell pieces on eBay. Then governments took over. Scientists poked, prodded, and accidentally blew up a lab in New Mexico. But slowly, they learned. The ship's fusion core became the blueprint for clean energy. Its cloaking device inspired invisibility suits. And its weapons, humanity reverse-engineered them, fused them with their own ideas, and built something new. "They're not just copying us," the science officer realized. "They're improving." The Xinthians panicked. "We strike now," roared the commander. "Burn their cities. Crush their labs." "No," said the science officer. "They're not ready. Look, the ships are still underground. Their planet is a nest, not a threat. If we wait, we'll learn more." The commander hesitated. He hated hesitation, but he agreed. Back on Earth, the humans knew they were being watched. Dr. Elena Voss, the lead engineer on Project Reckoning, stared at a live feed from the Arctic. Her hands trembled as she watched workers weld the final plates onto the USS Aegis, the first Star Destroyer. "If they attack now, we're dead," she whispered. Beside her, General Marcus Cole lit a cigar. "Then we make sure they don't attack." "How?" Cole blew smoke. "Scare them first." The plan was madness. The Xinthians expected weakness, so humanity gave them a show. They leaked fake documents online, conspiracy theories about alien invasions, crop circles, and UFOs. The aliens scoffed. Typical human nonsense, they snorted. Meanwhile, real progress stayed buried, but the Xinthians weren't fooled forever. One night, a probe vanished over Texas. The last signal showed a flash of light, and then static. "Energy beam?" the science officer asked. "No," came the reply. "A missile, human-made. They're hunting us." Fear spread like rot. On Earth, Elena Voss stood in a control room beneath Nevada. She pressed a button. Deep below, the Aegis hummed louder. Its engines, powered by stolen Xinthian tech, glowed blue. "We're ready," she said. Cole nodded. "Good, let them come." The Xinthians debated. Attack, retreat. Then the sky split open. Over Antarctica, the ice cracked. A beam of light shot into space, brighter than a star. The Xinthians stared as the ground yawned wide, revealing the Aegis rising on pillars of fire. What is that?" the commander choked. Across Earth, other sites activated. Deserts, oceans, mountains. The planet itself seemed to bleed metal. 11 star destroyers climbed into the sky, each one a titan. The humans had built 11. The commander's voice shook. "They're not ants anymore." The science officer stared. At the screens, her heart pounding. "They're lions," and the lions were roaring. Decades before the sky cracked open, a single event changed Earth forever. In 2075, a drilling team in Greenland hit something strange, a metallic object buried deep under ice. At first, they thought it was a plane wreck. Then they saw the symbols, glowing on its surface. Not Russian, not American, not human. The military sealed the site and rumors spread. Aliens, UFOs, end of the world. Most laughed it off. But a few knew the truth. The ship wasn't ours. And it was alive. The scientists called it the gift. The soldiers called it the threat. For years, no one could open it. Lasers bounced off. Explosives fizzled. Finally, a janitor with a welding torch accidentally triggered a door. Inside, the air was warm. The walls pulsed like veins, and the dead aliens inside looked like nightmares. Jagged bones, too many joints, eyes like cracked glass. Dr. Elena Voss, then a young engineer, stood in the ship's core. Her team stared at a glowing sphere humming with power. "This isn't just a reactor," she whispered. "It's a star." They named it Hyperfusion Core. 1 cube of its fuel could power New York for a century. But the real prize was the tech. Weapons, shields, gravity-defying engines. The problem? Humans couldn't read the manuals. The aliens' math was like poetry. Their physics broke every rule. Governments argued. Some wanted to hide it. Others wanted to weaponize it. Then General Marcus Cole stood up in a secret meeting. "We're not ready for this," he said. "But if we wait, someone else will take it. We build, we learn." Project Reckoning began. Secret labs popped up worldwide. In Siberia, engineers stripped alien tech for parts. In Nevada, a fake movie studio hid a factory building ships the size of skyscrapers. In Kenya, scientists grew crystals that bent light, creating invisibility cloaks. The work was slow, dangerous. Half the prototypes exploded. One test pilot vanished mid-flight, reappearing inside a wall. But progress came. By 2090, Earth had a new weapon, the Star Destroyer. The USS Aegis was the first. A mile-long beast with a hull of neosteel, a mix of alien alloys and human steel, and cannons that fired beams hot enough to melt asteroids. Its engines used hyperfusion cores, letting it jump across space faster than light. And its AI? A blend of alien code and human logic, it learned and adapted mid-battle. But the destroyers weren't just ships. They were traps. Each one carried black boxes, devices that hijacked enemy communications, turning their own words against them. Others had gravity snares, which yanked ships into black holes. And the final weapon? The Phoenix. Protocol. A bomb that recycled dead matter into new weapons mid-fight. The world didn't know. Only a few thousand people worked on the project. Families lied, workers faked deaths, governments fed the public lies, budget cuts, failed experiments. Meanwhile, the destroyers grew. But secrecy had cracks. In 2023, a hacker in Berlin leaked files labeled Starship Plans. The internet exploded. Conspiracy theorists rejoiced. The UN denied everything. "It's fake," a spokesperson said. But the Xinthians watched. They saw the panic, the denial, the lies. And they wondered, are these ants building a hive? Then came the accidents. A Russian spy satellite caught a glimpse of the Nevada base. It sent one photo before it blew up. A Chinese fishing boat stumbled on a destroyer rising from the Pacific. The crew vanished. A Brazilian scientist tried to sell secrets to North Korea. He was arrested, but not before whispers spread. Earth has teeth now. The Xinthians grew restless. Their scouts reported more ruins being uncovered. In Egypt, a pyramid hid a teleporter. In Antarctica, a frozen alien base held a virus that ate metal. In Mongolia, a cave glowed with quantum mines, bombs that erased targets from time itself. "They're hoarding power," hissed the Xinthian high commander. "They're not preparing for war, they're preparing to conquer." But Earth wasn't ready to conquer. They were ready to survive. Project Reckoning's leaders argued. "We show our hand," said Elena Voss. "Let them see what we've built. Maybe they'll leave us alone." General Cole shook his head. "No. If we show them the sword, they'll try to steal it. We wait." They waited too long. In 2101, the Xinthians attacked. A fleet of jagged bioships descended on Earth. They struck first at major cities, New York, Tokyo, Nairobi. Lasers carved canyons into the land. Millions died. But as smoke rose, the destroyers woke. In Nevada, Elena Voss pressed a button. The ground shook. The Aegis rose from the desert, its engines roaring like thunder. Across the globe, 10 more ships climbed into the sky. The Xinthians stared. One alien pilot muttered, "This is impossible." Another screamed, "They've been lying to us." The destroyers didn't fire. Not yet. They just hovered. A wall of metal and fury. And from the Aegis, a message blasted across space. "We don't want war, but we won't beg for peace." The Xinthians hesitated. They'd come expecting easy prey. Instead, they faced lions. But lions get hungry, and Earth's destroyers were starving. The Xinthians came like a storm. 50 jagged bioships tore through Earth's orbit, their hulls pulsing with green energy. They weren't just ships, they were beasts, grown in alien labs, their engines screaming like wolves. Lasers lashed down, carving smoking wounds into cities. Tokyo burned. Nairobi drowned under tidal waves. In Moscow, a tower melted into a puddle of molten steel. The Xinthians had fought 1,000 wars. They expected surrender. They got a punch in the face. From the deserts of Nevada, the USS Aegis roared to life. Its hyperfusion core glowed blue-white, and the ground cracked beneath it as it lifted skyward. 10 more Star Destroyers followed, rising from oceans, mountains, and frozen tundras. The planet itself seemed to split open, spitting metal giants into the air. The Xinthians froze. "They're everywhere," whispered a pilot. "Impossible," hissed the High Commander. "Their tech is primitive." But it wasn't. The Waujus opened fire. A beam of pure white light lanced out, slicing through 3 Xinthian ships. The alien hulls melted like butter. Onboard sensors screamed warnings. "Energy signature matches our own weapons." The Xinthians stared at the wreckage. Humans had stolen their tech and made it better. "They've turned our power against us," muttered the science officer. Earth's response was brutal. In Kenya, a Star Destroyer hovering over Mount Kilimanjaro launched black box drones. These tiny machines zipped into Xinthian ships, hacking their systems. Alien pilots watched helplessly as their own lasers turned inward. blowing their ships apart. In the Pacific, the USS Titan rose from the waves. Its hull shimmered with invisibility cloaks, making it vanish. Xinthian scouts circled, confused, until the Titan reappeared and vaporized them with a point-blank blast. Even civilians joined the fight. A teenager in Mumbai hacked into a Xinthian missile network using his phone. He rerouted dozens of warheads into the alien fleet, grinning as explosions lit up his screen. "Boom," he said. In Kansas, a farmer named Darla Cooper manned a plasma turret built from a combine harvester. She fired salvos at passing ships, shouting, "Eat this, you space lizards." The Xinthians panicked. "This isn't a war," cried a commander. "It's a slaughter." They tried to regroup. 15 ships formed a wedge formation aiming for the Aegis. Their cannons fired in unison, a barrage of green death. But the Aegis didn't flinch. Its shields absorbed the hits, glowing like a sun. Then it retaliated. Aegis's gravity snare activated. A Xinthian ship screamed as invisible hands yanked it forward. It spun wildly, crashing into its allies. 3 more ships exploded. "They're toying with us," roared the High Commander. He ordered. Retreat too late. The Star Destroyers closed in. They moved like predators, cutting off escape routes. One by one, Xinthian ships died. Some exploded silently in the vacuum of space. Others crashed into oceans, forests, or cities, leaving craters where neighborhoods once stood. The last surviving, Xinthian flagship hovered above Antarctica. Its hull was torn, its crew bleeding. The captain, a scarred veteran named Vrek, stared at the Aegis. "They're not animals," he whispered. "They're gods." "No," said his science officer. "Worse, they're human." The Aegis sent a message on surrender or vanish. The Xinthians hesitated. Then their engines flared. They fled, abandoning their dead. The sky cleared. On Earth, survivors emerged from bunkers. They stared at the ruins, the smoke, the bodies. The battle had lasted 47 minutes. Millions were dead. But the Star Destroyers had won. General Marcus Cole stood on the Aegis bridge. His hands shook as he lit a cigar. "We did it," he muttered. Dr. Elena Voss watched the retreating Xinthians. "No," she said. "We just survived." War wasn't over. It had just begun. The smoke hadn't settled before Earth's leaders argued. General Marcus Cole stood in the Aegis war room, his cigar glowing like a red eye. "They'll come back," he growled. "Bigger, meaner. We hit 'em hard now while they're weak." Dr. Elena Voss shook her head. Her hands trembled, not from fear but exhaustion. She'd worked 48 hours straight, patching the Star Destroyer's damaged systems. "We're not gods," she snapped. "We lost 3 ships. Half our pilots are dead. If we chase them, we burn the planet down." Cole glared. "So we wait, let them lick their wounds and try again?" Outside, the world burned. Tokyo's skyline was gone. Nairobi's harbor was a graveyard of sunken ships. In Moscow, survivors sifted through melted steel, searching for bodies. Yet in the rubble, humans laughed, sang, wept with relief. They'd won against aliens, against death. A teenager in Berlin spray-painted a slogan on a wall, "Earth strikes back." The Xinthians heard it, and they trembled. Their flagship limped to a distant moon, its hull scarred. Captain Vrek, bleeding from a cracked rib, stared at the battle footage. Humans swarmed the ruins like ants, hacking, fighting, winning. "They're not soldiers," he muttered. "They're pests. Pests with nukes." His science officer, Zyra, paced, her scaled tail lashed. "We underestimated them. Their tech, their rage." She paused. "But worst of all, we missed the point." Vrek snarled. "What point?" "They don't fight like us," Zyra hissed. "We conquer. They survive. Burn a city and they rebuild. Kill 1,000 and 10,000 rise. They're not a military. They're a plague." Across the galaxy, others watched. The Threxians, a squid-like species trading in black market tech, saw Earth's victory as opportunity. Sell them weapons, their council debated, or enslave them. The peaceful Gorans, who'd never fired a shot in war, sent secret messages. Meet us. Talk peace. The Drax Empire, known for glassing planets, labeled Earth a priority target, but the Zynthians had one last card, a weapon buried for centuries. Back on Earth, Elena Voss stared at a hologram of the solar system. Red dots marked Zynthian ships retreating to Mars's far side. They're hiding something, she muttered. A junior engineer tapped her screen. Dr. Voss, look at this. Satellite scans showed movement under Phobos, Mars's largest moon. Something huge hummed beneath the dust. Cole grunted. They're building a base. No, Voss whispered. A bomb. The Zynthians called it Project Oblivion. A doomsday device fueled by stolen hyperfusion cores. It could sterilize Earth in seconds. Zyra argued against it. They'll see it coming, they'll strike first. But Vrak was done losing. Wipe them out, or we die as fools. He gave the order. The bomb awakened. On Earth, alarms screamed. The Aegis sensors lit up. A massive energy spike on Mars. They're targeting us, Elena Voss yelled. That thing's a planet killer. Cole didn't flinch. Fire every ship, take it out. The Star Destroyers jumped to Mars. The battle was chaos. Zynthian fighters swarmed the Aegis, lasers blazing. A pilot named Darla Cooper, yes, the same Kansas farmer, blasted them with a jury-rigged turret. Eat dirt, space snakes, she roared. In Nairobi, a hacker rerouted Zynthian drones to attack their own mothership. You taught us to fight dirty, he said. Thanks, aliens. The Aegis closed in on the bomb. Vrak watched on his screen. Kill them, he spat. Then Zira slammed his console. No! A beam from Earth's moon struck the bomb's core. The explosion rippled through Mars's crust, swallowing Zynthian ships whole. Vrak died screaming. Zyra survived just long enough to send one message across the stars. Beware, Earth. They fight like gods. But they're still human. Back home, humanity celebrated. Cole lit a new cigar. We won. Voss stared at the stars. No, we survived. The war wasn't over, but Earth had sent a message. Mess with us, and we'll burn your world too. The galaxy didn't forget. News of Earth's victory spread like wildfire. The Threxians sent spies. The Gorans offered treaties. The Drax Empire marked Earth as priority target number 1. But the Zynthians? They vanished. Their surviving ships limped into the void, their leaders whispering warnings. Beware the ants with teeth. On Earth, the smoke still lingered. General Marcus Cole stood on the Aegis bridge, staring at a hologram of the solar system. Planets spun in silence. No alien ships, no explosions. Just quiet. Feels wrong, he muttered, lighting a cigar. Dr. Elena Voss leaned on the rail, her hands raw from days of repairs. Quiet means we won, she said. Cole blew smoke. Quiet means they're planning. He was right. A new kind of war. The Zynthians weren't the only ones watching. The Drax Empire, a brutal species that glassed planets for sport, sent an envoy to Earth. Their ship hovered over New Delhi, its hull bristling with cannons. The message was simple. Surrender, or burn. Earth's leaders met in a bunker under Mount Everest. Cole slammed his fist on the table. We fight, Voss shook her head. We talk. She won. The world's best diplomats boarded a Star Destroyer. They met the Drax in orbit, armed with holograms of the Mars battle and a single warning. We don't negotiate with bullies, but we'll bury you if you try. The Drax envoy laughed, until the Aegis vaporized a nearby asteroid. The shockwave rattled his ship. Your planet is interesting, he hissed. We'll return. They didn't. The cost of survival. Victory came with scars. In Nairobi, survivors rebuilt using alien scrap. A teenager named Amina welded Metal plates into homes, her hands blistered. They took my family, she said, but they won't take my future. In Kansas, Darla Cooper's farm glowed with stolen Zynthian tech. Her plasma turret now powered irrigation systems. Kill 2 birds with 1 laser, she joked, but not everyone celebrated. General Cole walked through a memorial in Moscow. Names of dead pilots lined the walls. He paused at one. Lieutenant Maria Chen, hero of Mars. Her daughter tugged his coat. Did she save us? Cole knelt. She saved us all. The Watchers return. 3 years later, the Zynthians came back, not as invaders, as beggars. Their flagship, scarred and patched, limped into Earth's orbit. No weapons, no threats, just a single transmission. We seek peace. The world debated. They lied before, growled Cole. Why trust them now? They're scared, Voss argued. Let's make them scared enough to stay away. The Zynthians landed in Geneva. Their delegation included Captain Vrak's son, Kale, and Science Officer Zira. She faced the UN with scales pale from stress. Your kind terrifies us, she admitted. You fight like gods. You rebuild like gods. You even forgive like gods. Cole snorted. We're not gods. We're humans. And we don't forget. The treaty was harsh. The Zynthians surrendered their tech, their colonies, and their right to orbit Earth. In exchange, they kept their lives. As Kale left, he whispered to Voss, You've changed the stars. She smiled. So have you. A star among stars. By 2110, Earth was no longer a secret. The Gorans arrived with gifts, star maps, healing crystals, and a request for trade. Humans agreed, exchanging Earth's music, literature, and coffee. This espresso is divine, one Goran declared. The Threxians tried to sell weapons. Humanity bought their blueprints, improved them, and sent the Threxians packing. Even the Drax Empire backed off. A spy ship near Saturn vanished after the Aegis sent a polite message. We know you're there. Go home. But not all was. Peace. In the Arctic, Elena Voss stood in the old Zynthian crash site. The alien ship's core still hummed, its secrets endless. She touched the metal, her breath fogging in the cold. What else is out there? She wondered. Cole joined her. Trouble, she grinned. Then let's be ready. The Legacy. Children grew up hearing tales of the day the sky split open. In schools, they learned about the Zynthians, the Mars battle, and the farmer who beat aliens with a tractor. A mural in Berlin read, Earth, not a target, not a colony, a lion. And in a dusty bunker under Nevada, the Star Destroyers waited. Ready? Because peace isn't given, it's earned, with fire, with steel, and with the courage to roar when the universe says kneel.